Hey everyone! So I was just sitting here practicing some music that I'm getting ready to record. I've kind of been putting off recording it because it's a really difficult song. But I'm getting to the point where I can't put it off anymore. And so I had to really get serious about it. And there's really just one section that gives me trouble. And partly because the song itself is 130 beats per minute, which is, in this case, is kind of quick. But also just the pattern is just really difficult at that tempo. Here, I'll show it to you and maybe you can kind of see it. So here's what I'm working on. And this is the section that I'm working on right here. You can see it's two groups of 16th notes there. And it goes, there's a second, a third, a fourth, and then a fifth. And it's just really difficult to do quickly. And so I wanted to share something that I do myself and that I tell my students to do. If you're working on a section and you just can't seem to get it, you work on it over and over, and you just can't get it, it doesn't help to keep working on things in the same way. So I like to change it up a bit, and maybe you've done this before, or you've heard of doing this before. But what I like to do when I encounter something that's difficult like this is to use uneven rhythms. So there's 3 different rhythms that I like to do. One is a long short pattern. So basically like a dotted 8th, 16th rhythmic pattern. I like to swap that and do short long, so the 16th dotted 8th pattern, and then also a triplet pattern, which can be the trickiest. So I'll show you what I mean, and I'm going to start with the long short. Let me play this slowly first so that you can hear what it sounds like, and then I'll play the uneven rhythm. So we have just this one little measure is, that's all I'm working on right there. Only when I play it for real, eventually it'll be 130 beats per minute. But anyway, so that's what I'm working with. So I'm going to start off by doing a long short pattern. So da 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 da. So it kind of sounds like this. I'll do it again. I like to do it short long, so da 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 da, which sounds like this. And then let's see if I can do it in the triplet pattern. That one's usually the most confusing. So let's see, it should sound something like, when you do the triplet, it might be easier if you sort of overemphasize the downbeat of each triplet. That might help, but more often than not, it's really confusing to keep it going. And when you do uneven rhythms like that, one thing is that sometimes it just doesn't work out to be even as far as your notes go, or like, you know, how many end up together. You might end up with an extra one at the end or something like that. That's okay. It doesn't matter. But really, 9 times out of 10, whenever I do uneven rhythms and I do each rhythm several times, I try to get it faster as I get more comfortable with it. And 9 times out of 10, it will clear up your problem. At least that's been my experience, and it's been the experience that my students have had. So I really, really recommend it if you're struggling with a section that's fast, or it's just difficult to get your fingers around. I think what really happens here is that in altering the rhythm like that, kind of one thing, it sort of lets your brain catch up to what's coming next, especially when you've got a longer note and then a shorter one. I just think that probably works that way. And then I think it plays to muscle memory. It helps to get the notes under your fingers. and it just works. So that's my tip. Give it a try, and let me know how it works for you. See ya.